Hi, Mama Russell here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a rhubarb berry crisp or a berry rhubarb crisp, however you want to call it. This video goes out to Jade so she can make it for her dad, who said it was one of the best berry crisps he'd ever had. So this is for you, Jade. Let's get started. I usually have lots of berries in my freezer. And so I start with just a pan like this. I am actually giving these away, so I made it in a pan that they can recycle or throw away. I take my frozen berries, I pour them in, and then I cut up rhubarb. And they're like this big a chunk or this big a chunk. And my berries were frozen before, but since this sat overnight, there's a lot of juice, but that's okay. You're gonna take some minute tapioca and you are going to sprinkle just a little bit. Okay, and you can add flour if you don't have tapioca, but the tapioca acts as a thickener, and that's all you do for that part. So then you set it aside, and now we are going to make our topping. And this is kind of a dump and go. So I'm gonna start with oats. I usually use Old Fashioned. They're a little bit bigger, they're not chopped up. So I just dump. Because I'm making a couple different batches of this, I am going to double or triple, and so there's really not a real recipe for this because honestly, I like the crunch on the top. That's my favorite part. So I just start adding, you're gonna add brown sugar. So I will add what I have in here. Okay, so there's really not a lot of measuring. I don't add sugar to the base part just because I like my rhubarb berry crisp tart. The fruit counteracts the tartness of the rhubarb, and so I like mine actually very tart. But if you want it a little less tart, you can add a little sugar to it as well. So I'm gonna add a little more brown sugar, and normally when I do these videos, I have it all pre-measured, but because I don't really measure this, I just kind of dump. Okay, and then I'm going to work it around with a fork. This was one of these last minute things this video I thought, oh, I'm gonna make that berry rhubarb crisp, and so this was kind of like last minute. Get the video done before everybody gets home from school and work. Okay, and then I just try to see that the brown sugar is kind of incorporated into the oats. And if I feel like I need a little bit more, I add a little bit more. And then I add some cinnamon, so I just sprinkle the cinnamon in. Sometimes I add nutmeg, but because this is for somebody else and I don't know allergies, then I don't add it. I love the smell of cinnamon. All right, and then here's my secret. I have vanilla powder, and I like to sprinkle some vanilla powder in here. And I also like to add some vanilla extract to the base, and I will do that another time. So I stir this up. Now, the next part's a little tricky. Because it's gonna seem like a lot, but remember I'm making 2 big pans of this. So I'm gonna take a stick of butter and stick it in, and I'm actually going to add a whole nother stick. It's a lot, it's what makes this crunchy. And so then you just you can either use a pastry blender or a fork, and you just cut it into the oatmeal, or the oatmeal mixture. And you just keep doing that, and you stir and stir until the softened butter, and it has to be softened. You can't just take it straight out of the fridge because that won't work. But you're gonna see a trick here in a second. So, all right, so I have my raspberries. Again, you can use frozen. I have my rhubarb that I grew in my garden. It's about the only thing that will grow in my garden. And then I'm just gonna start dumping. You wanna do it somewhat evenly. Okay. If you don't have enough, you just add a little more. All right, and then you take a cold stick of butter, and it's gonna be kind of tough to do, but you just put pats of butter very thin over the top. Okay, so obviously this is not, if you want a healthier version of this, you can eliminate some of the butter. I'm not sure what you could use instead of that. Okay, so see how it obviously is hard to cut through. All right, so then you can stick it in the fridge for the softened butter to get a little hard, but you don't need to. And you're gonna put it in the oven, 375 degrees, for about 50 minutes to an hour. And if it gets a little toasty on the top, you wanna kind of check. You can always put tinfoil over the top for the last 20 minutes if you need to, but a lot of times I don't need to do that. And then to test it, these rhubarb chunks should be tender, but they can be crisp if you like it. Okay, and your raspberries are gonna become a little bit mushy. Now, I made just with raspberries. However, I have made this with a mixture of blackberry, raspberry, blueberry. I've made it with just strawberries. I've made it with a mix of huckleberries, lots of different concoctions. You can do this with apples, apple crisp, and there's lots of things. You can do peach crisp as well. So, in the oven it goes, and all right, so here's the final product. This one's for someone else, but this is what it looks like when you put it in a bowl, and I add either ice cream or half and half or whole whipping cream, and it just makes it creamier. And hold on here. So this is one of my all-time favorite desserts, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and thanks Jade for being the inspiration behind this post. Have a great day.